is the one thing that we have to
live on. We I don't care if you don't do anything, you want to be a bum on the street for the rest of your life, sleep on the sidewalk, you resting on land. Okay? Somebody's paying the taxes on that land. You know, if a person want to live behind a alley, you on somebody's land, somebody paying the taxes there, right? You want to live out in the desert somewhere, somebody's paying the taxes there. That's government land, or somebody's paying the taxes there. So we all are land dwellers. That's number one. Number two, you have to eat. For the most part, you need food to eat. For the most part, some type of food, I don't care what your diet is, it comes out the land. It comes out the land. Okay. um Now your basic needs is covered. You have somewhere to live, food to eat. You can offer it to other people. Okay. So you can rent your place out. Okay. So what does that provide? Income. Okay. Because you're going to need income. All right. So now land provides a place to live, food to eat, and income. It's called residual income. Okay. Residual income when you rent your land out. Wait, there's more. Just having the land, even if you don't get weekly, monthly, yearly residual income, we have something called equity. It's amazing. That's why they say equity is brutal. You know, you buy a car, you rent it out, like rent a car companies, right? Cars are assets to rent a car companies, right? They rent it out. An airplane, you rent out your airplane to passengers. Trains, you rent out buses, everything you rent it out. A building, you rent it out to people, right? But eventually these things what? Lose value. You have to maintain them and they lose value. Land is the only thing you don't have to maintain. Pretty much all my properties except for two just sitting there. I don't maintain them. I don't even know what most of them look like. Okay? I don't maintain them, but it's steady going up in value. I don't have to do nothing but pay the taxes every year. They steady going up in value. All right? So even if I don't live on the land, even if I don't get my food off the land, even if I don't get residual income off the land, okay? Even if I don't do any of these things, live on the land, food on the land, residual income on the land, I'm going to build equity from the land. That is something that I could buy for $10,000 and sit on it for as a retirement. I could say I'm 18, 21 years old, 35, 40, 50 years old and say, you know what? I'm going to sit down and retire at 70, 80 years old. You know, at 70, 80 years old, I don't want to work as hard. Okay? Let me buy this piece of land. And one thing about it is guaranteed. The stock market might crash, everything might crash. Somebody gonna need a piece of land to live on. I could sell this land for 30,000, 40,000, a million. The simple little piece of land that I paid $1,000, $10,000 for. Okay? One little piece of land could be your whole retirement. Your whole retirement. You buy the right piece of land, that could be your whole retirement. Okay? The way I'm setting things up for me right now is I got a land for every 10 years, actually 5 years. I'm setting it up now for 5 years because I'll be 50 soon. So I want 50 properties by the time I'm 50. So I'm setting it up for every 5 years, I'm gonna sell one. Every 5 years, I'm gonna sell one. And then God willing, um, I'll probably get to the point where I have so many that I could sell one every year, really, you know. So every year I'm buying one, but I'm selling one. I'm buying a fresh new one. That fresh new one I'll probably sell in 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But I'm setting it up so every year that's my paycheck, that's my yearly income. So if I buy one for whatever it is, 10,000, 100,000 in 5, 10 years, I ought to be able to make, you know, a yearly wage off of it, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever. That should pay my yearly wage. Okay. So I'm setting that up, but I'm right now baby steps, you know, for every 5 years, you know, but like I say, eventually, you know, I plan to live to 100. So that's why I say, okay, 50 properties. By the time I'm 50, at 51, I could sell, I could, I, at, not 51, at 55, I could sell one. 60, I could sell one, you know, keep going. And still, when I pass away, have properties left. Okay. Because at the same time I'm selling some, I'm buying more. But the ones I'm buying, you know, like if I buy a property at 90 years old, I'll probably be dead and gone before I sell it, you know, at 100. So that'll be something my offsprings can carry on, you know, because I'm teaching them the business, they could carry on, right? So, anyhow, oh, there she is. There's Miss Emma. Hey, baby. So, what we got to do, guys, we have to realize that land is the only thing can provide all our needs. Okay, literally, literally all our wants and needs. We can't even be on the cell phone without um this material, all this material that make this cell phone come out what? The land. Everything that make this cell phone don't come out the air, don't come out the magically appear. The glass, this is sand. Okay, it got gold in here. I don't know anybody know about this technology, but everything about this here come out the land. There's nothing we have that doesn't come out the land. All right. So the sooner we realize that is the sooner we see how important the land is, okay, to our survival, for our everything, right? But kind of back to what I was saying, you know, I went to a point where I was kind of scared to buy more land because I was scared of maintenance. I was paying taxes. Um, I just went through a few of the properties that I know my taxes were like over $50, I think last week, and I was like making sure all the taxes was paid. And it was one I didn't even realize we hadn't paid the taxes in like 3 years. So we hurried up and paid it. My business partner hurried up and paid it. So my other properties that the tax is like $5, $10, $11. Boom, I just be knocking those out as they come. But um I got fearful. I got fearful that you know, God, how am I manage all of these properties and stuff like that, you know, and stuff like that. And then I realized it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Land is the one thing I don't have to maintain. It's not a car that if I buy this brand new car and I'm keeping it as a collectible, even though it's a collectible car, guess what? I still have to maintain that car. I still got to go out there every weekend, crank it up, change your oil, drive it around the block. I could let that piece of land sit there for 50 years, never set foot on it, and still make money. But that antique car that I bought as a collectible, as a that I think is an asset, guess what? I got to keep insurance on it. God forbid it burn down. All them people in California, their houses, cars, gold, jewelry, everything, paintings, everything burned down. You know the only thing still there?
The land.
The only thing there. I just saw one thing. The lady took all her china and everything, gold and everything, and she threw it in a pool. Did y'all see that? She threw it in a pool, you know, because it got water in there before she evacuated. And I said, dang, that's kind of smart though. I'm like, these people are trying to save this stuff. And I'm like, man, if these people only knew, or if they know, they should not have been keeping, like even the Bible tell you, don't store up these things. Don't store them up. Okay? Do not store these things up. These things are not where moth corrupt and everything corrupt. Okay? We are not supposed to be storing these things up. Nothing. Eventually they'll all fade away. You know, I got pictures, I got stuff that's dear to my heart that I would never sell. You know, memories, pictures, stuff like that. Um, Stuff my family gave me that I would never sell. But you know, one day it's gonna wither away. I don't care if it's 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 years from now. You know, if I got a ring my great grandpappy gave me, 1,000 years from now, it's gonna wither away. Somebody gonna lose it. Something gonna happen to it. But if my great grandpappy gave me a piece of land and I want to give it to my great million great grandson, granddaughter, guess what? It's gonna still be there. It's gonna still be there. That's amazing. So when I started thinking about and this is just in the past few years, when I'm thinking about this stuff, I said, man, all I want to do is buy land. I don't want to buy no gold, no jewelry, no shoes, clothes, nothing. I want to leave so much land that my offsprings don't even know what to do with it. But I'm gonna teach them. Just do nothing. Literally do nothing. Pay your taxes. Don't do nothing with it. Pay your tax. Okay. So anyhow, we're gonna watch this video and we're gonna kind of dissect it a little bit because I think it's important to know that even though we, like I say, even me, I'm gonna sell my land as I go. Every 5 years, I want to sell something, and eventually, every year, I want to have something to sell. Then eventually, the way I'm teaching my offsprings is that's all. That's gonna be the family business: buy and sell land. That's gonna be the. I don't care about no house, nothing. That's just a headache. We're gonna buy, probably do some landscape it, clean it up, put some infrastructure in there, set it all up, sell it to a developer. Okay, we're gonna buy and sell land. Okay, that's what I'm the company that I'm developing. Okay, we're gonna buy and sell land, and we're gonna teach people to buy and sell land. Okay, and we're gonna rent the land to people. Three things I'm building my company into: renting the land, selling the land, and teaching about the land. Okay, and guess what? It don't cost me nothing. It don't cost me nothing to rent the land to people. I don't have to do nothing. I'm renting you the land for you to park your RV, your trailer, your tent, for you to garden, whatever you want to do. I'm renting you this space for you to do your thing for X amount of dollars. When I sell the land, long as I keep the land, I don't have to pay no insurance, nothing. Just pay my taxes. Okay? And it don't cost me nothing for me to teach y'all. Very minimal. You know, we get a website up and going, that'll probably be it. Whatever it costs to maintain a website. This is the beautiful thing about land. You know, if I was teaching houses, man, I got to teach you guys how to rehab a house, plumbing, electrical. When I watch these gurus on YouTube, they teaching people how to rehab houses. Man, they teach you the good and bad about it. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And I'm in the business of rehabbing. I'm a contractor by trade, so I know. Okay, I know firsthand how crazy it is to rehab a house, how you could lose money. Y'all hear stories all the time about investors rehabbing houses. just for it to burn down, somebody catch on fire by mistake, or they under budget for the rehab and it end up costing more to rehab it than what they thought. All of this type of stuff, right? So I could tell you guys firsthand, you know, it's money in it. Everybody needs somewhere to live, somewhere comfortable to live. Okay. Everybody wants somewhere comfortable to live, especially you're a man. You want your woman and your offspring to have somewhere comfortable to live. You're a woman. You want your offspring somewhere comfortable to live. Okay. So that's the house thing. Otherwise, we'll all just be laying on the land. But we all want a house to be comfortable, right? So I get it, you know, but the land is where the value is. Okay. The land is where the value is. This video we're gonna watch, they not coming for these people houses. They not, oh, we want to buy up your house. We want to buy up your house. No, they want the land. Okay. So now I'm back in full effect of buying land, buying land, buying land. Okay. Now that I have certain resources to buy up all the land, that's all I'm focused on. Okay. But I wanted the message to be tonight that you guys do not get discouraged by anything, because land is not a thing that you have to maintain. Okay. Unless it's some special type of land in a subdivision where they calling you every 5 minutes to come cut your grass. It's not a thing you have to maintain. The only thing you have to do with it is pay the taxes. Okay. That's the only thing you have to do with it. If somebody tell you, oh man, I collect Jordans, man, you got to keep those Jordans in a those shoes in a temperature control room. Okay. If the room is too hot, they're gonna dry out. If the room is too cold, it's gonna get brittle and dry out. Okay. Anything you can think of have to be maintained. The only thing is land does not have to be maintained. You don't even need insurance on it. Okay. So let me share screen, and I'm gonna have you guys watching this while I try to pull up the other video. Oh shoots, let me just go to the class. Any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any comments? Where is it? This one.
When people live in Dallas, if they want to sell their homes, they put a real estate sign in it and they sell their home. I don't want to sell my home. I don't want to sell my roots.
Okay, now this is Dallas, Texas. Okay, so we already know any major city it's money. It's gonna be money. Anytime you buy property in any major city, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, but you can make a lot of money. Okay, that's why I tell you guys, focus on land and property an hour, 2 hours outside of any major city, because that'll be the next wave of money, or the next developments. They're going to be coming an hour, 2 hours out of any major city. So right away, I already knew she's in Dallas. They're coming for her land. I already know. Okay. If you're not keeping up with your taxes in these places, if you're not doing certain things, they're gonna figure out a way to come get you.
I want to sell my heritage. I want to stay here. This is what I've done for my whole life. Blood, sweat, tears, everything. My friends. It's not for sale. It's just like somebody coming up to you and saying, hey, I want to buy your house. You say, well, it's not for sale. I don't care. I'm going to take it anyway. You can either take what I give you or I'm just going to take it. And that's what they're doing. It's not that we're not caring. Everybody cares if somebody needs to drink water, but they're not doing that. It's more greed. There's so many offers that have been made to them for water. They won't take it. They want the land. And if they can make more money with the land for force us off of it and sell it off by lots and build their $1 million homes on it. That's what they did to Lake Boyard. You can get in contact with some of those people, ask them how they felt being forced off their land and then to see $1 million homes pop up on it. They had the same reaction. It's soul shattering to your core, to your very being, to your bones.
All right, now the video that came off of
When people live in Dallas,
I wanted to go to that too. The video that came off of, but that's the gist of it. This here's a video that came off of. I'm gonna skip to some key points.
As you know, back in Texas, rifles can be carried in public without a license, whereas in Florida, no one can carry 1,000 acres, but they're taking 200,000. Is that right? Yes, the state law, they'll have to make it.
Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear it, or it's too low?
So where is this going? Are we sitting right where it's going? Well, where we're sitting right now is what would be, of course, we don't know for sure we can tell the like it's done, but he is prime target for litigation where we're at right now. So this wouldn't be necessarily underwater, but they're going to take this anyway. Right. This will go for mitigation. It's going to join it. In this bottom lands, it's on the fertile bottom lands. It'll be gone. So what is mitigation anyway? What are they? So mitigation is basically you put a wildline. You take an acre of, say, hardwood timber. You got to replace it.
So when I was watching a video, he was talking about how they're just gonna take the land, but according to modern laws, when you take land by eminent domain, you have to give the person just compensation. And if you take land and have to displace animals, you have to find another piece of land to put the animals. You can't just kill off the animals and take the land. You have to find somewhere to put the animals. Okay, so he's saying that's what they're saying they're gonna do and all that type of stuff.
An acre of land like timber, or you replace it like with pasture land. My number might be a little bit wrong here, but you can go up to 7 acres for that of pasture land to replace that 1 acre of hardwood timber. Okay, so this is conservation for the wildlife. Exactly. So this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, just so you guys understand. They're gonna, if they flood an acre of woodland, hardwood timber, they have to buy another acre of hardwood timbers to replace it, which you're not replacing anything. It's already hardwood timber over here. You're actually removing hardwood timber and not replacing it, even though you buy it. So you've got to wrap your mind around this. Mitigation means they're purchasing land to simulate replacing something, but they're not actually replacing anything. So how would this directly affect you? This going to take where you live would be mitigation. Then it would take mitigation would take where our home is, which is on my wife's family land. It goes back to the 1800s. We lose all the land, our home, all the land. So it's gonna put us out of the categories. It'll take this oil field, most of this oil field, which the oil company's already said they're going to plug everything, shut it down. There won't be enough here, and the risk of having that next to water. So it takes that job. Right. I also run this other ranch here where part of this oil field's at, so obviously I'll lose that job. So it wipes 2 whole families plumb out of here. Where it's been here since back in 1800. In your job and everything. Job, 200,000 acres. I mean, that's an enormous amount of land. How many people are? All this.
Oh, this is the other thing. The land provide jobs. He was about to go into how much. He was about to go into how many jobs people gonna lose because they lose in the land, and how many businesses the land provide. The land provides a lot of businesses.
Where our home is, which is on my wife's family land, goes back to the 1800s. We lose all of that, our home, all the land. So it's gonna put us out of the cattle business. It'll take this oil field.
So they got a cattle business. Okay.
This oil field, which the oil company's already said they're gonna plug everything, shut it down. There won't be enough here, and the risk of having that next to water. So it takes that job. Right. I also run this other ranch here where part of this oil field's at. So obviously I'll lose that job. So it wipes two whole families plumb out of here where it's been here since back in 1800. Good for you. Yes. And your job and everything. Job. 200,000 acres. I mean, that's an enormous amount of. Okay. This is part of them. There's cattle on the hills, but they farm the lots. Gotcha. Yeah. And then where we talked to Robert up there earlier, this is right before we'll come to his house right up here. Okay. This is where all this is underwater. So this will be under. Yes, all this will be underwater. Yes, under the lake.
So what they're saying, what they're saying, somebody got to mute the mic. Oh, you wanted to say something? Go ahead. So what they're saying is they're moving the people out off of the land because they're saying it's basically a flood zone. The water, that land is going to be on the water. They want the people to move out of there, all that type of stuff. But the lady was saying they tried that with another place. Next thing you know, $1 million homes popping up. They got the people out of there by telling the people, the land's gonna be flooded. This gonna happen to the land. That gotta happen to the land. Next thing you know, they building $1 million homes on the land. So that's why these people are like, they're not gonna get tricked by that. They're not going anywhere. So, basically in these modern times, they're using trickery. Before, even now, they're using war, killing people, paperwork. Now they're using a lot of trickery. They raise your taxes, all that type of stuff.
Trinity Vandenacre. Did I get it right? Yeah, Trinity.
That's how important land is.
So Casey was telling me you've been around here a while. Yeah. I mean, you're part of it. It's like I didn't cook as much, huh?
Okay, now.
That house that was on the hill back there. My mom and dad lived in it when I was born, but I stayed over here in this house with them.
We're gonna watch this other video here.
And so she run me. So like when she would wash dishes and stuff, I put my little feet up in the sink and stuff. When she would wash dishes and stuff, she said every long I had my hands in the sink, and then after she'd wash my whole.
This is a real cool movie. You guys gotta watch these old westerns. I'm telling you. Okay. What did I do here? Let me do that.
In the sink, and then after she'd wash my whole body be in the sink water. She was washing dishes. I was telling him that I was a little spoiled because mom and daddy lived on that house on the hill, and I stayed up here with you while you were cooking and washing dishes and stuff.
So they lived over right back there.
That house that she was talking about,
This thing's starting to trip again.
Okay.
And so then here I came along, and I was the first girl and the grandbaby, and so Danny says,
hang on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out this technology here.
Yeah. As a general contractor or remodeler,
Trying to take this thing out. Okay.
Learn about crypto and get rewarded as you learn with Coinbase Learning Rewards. We've paid out over 100.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance.
Nothing.
in the sink, and then that boiler should washed, and my whole body would be in the sink
I'm gonna
water.
take that out. Okay. Now this the movie I was telling you guys about. Hopefully it plays now. Okay. Like I say, this movie, the guy's gonna kill the other guy for his land because he found gold in his land. So we just gonna watch like the first 10 minutes or so, then we're gonna talk about it.
What's this? Name's Vance Edison. Started by a man named Cole Roberts from Jackson Ridge. Reclaim this here mine. You rightfully owns it now. Is that right? Money you paid for it, plus a little extra for showing gold. You can't sell land to a hard-working man, and after he finds gold, take it back.
But take it back. This land belongs to the Southern family. I don't think you're understanding me.
I'm here to tell you to clear out of this here mine now. You gotta take that money and go, Captain.
You son of a bitch. Jesse, get down to the river and fetch some water.
Oh, I think I...
Now, damn it. Now, you listen to me, you son of a bitch. There ain't nothing or nobody gonna kick me off my land. Go back down there and clear this up.
Listen to me, you stubborn old coot. I'll give you 10 seconds to gather your things and start saddling your horse. I wish you go see the sheriff
I
now.
ain't going nowhere till this son of a bitch gets off my land.
Right.
That's the son, that's the heir. Now they gotta go after him and kill him, not just because he's a witness, but because he'd be the heir.
Well, what's it gonna be?
To the present time, I sure hope you're not here to ask for more.
No record.
You getting done?
But if you give me no choice, I'll leave it up to you.
I can feel it. I can do it.
You are the best part of my week.
There's no way he could have got that hand.
Understand why you pay me. Hey, don't shoot.
What the hell is going on?
Steve, I mean you no harm. Man's
What the hell was that?
Who is it?
Put your hands up. I'm out here.
very well.
Man, I'm here going with a little bit of time. I need you to send an emergency dispatch to Captain Samuel Whitfield.
Okay, let me just skip to this part. Okay, now this is the part I was talking about earlier. So they kidnap his woman. This is the heir, the son, um, that they was trying to kill. I should have let you guys saw that part earlier, but they didn't kill him when the two guys on the horse had him. They didn't kill him. The guy that was standing way up on the hill, he saved his life. So they didn't get a chance to kill him then. So the whole movie was about them trying to get him again and kill him, and he trying to kill them first too. But now this is the part where the bad guys found out that he got a woman. They kidnapped his woman, and they want to exchange the deed for his woman. So that's what I was trying to explain to you guys. They be trying to kill your whole bloodline for land, the whole bloodline. So you guys gonna also see a part where they let the woman go, but they grab her back. Okay. Now, from watching another movie, I know the reason they did that is because they're gonna kill a woman to make sure she don't have a baby that could come back later on and say, "Hey, this was my daddy's land." Okay. So when you guys get deep into this business, you'll realize there's different type of deeds: warranty deed, quick claim deed, all these types of deeds. When you buy property on quick claim deed, the person's saying that, hey, I don't even know if I own the property, but whatever I own, I'll sign it over to you. Okay. The strongest deed is called a warranty deed. That's where unequivocally, I don't know if that's the right word, but unequivocally, I am the 100% owner of this property, and I'm selling you 100% of my rights to this property. Okay, that's called a warranty deed. Anything after that is going to be some type of clause or some type of loophole or something where somebody might could come back and claim they had interest in the land and whatever, whatever. Okay. We always looking for warranty deeds. Anything after that, I have a property that we have a quick claim deed on. Okay. But we bought it cheap. So you have to buy it really cheap if you buy something on quick claim deed. Okay. Matter of fact, I had a situation where somebody I know, and this happens often with husbands and wives. um the husband or wife might want to come off, they going through the divorce, and the husband or wife might want to come off the deed. The other spouse would buy them out. Well, a spouse that's leaving would sign a quick claim deed to the spouse that's staying. Okay, so the spouse that's leaving, they're basically saying, whatever ownership I have, I'm giving it to you and relinquishing myself of any ownership. Okay. So um in that case, the spouse, one of the spouses would sign a quick claim deed if one is going to leave but one is going to stay. Okay. So in this situation in the movie, they killed the guy. It wasn't nothing even like where he agreed to, but like I say, even if he signed it and one of the heirs was able to come back and say, hey, my daddy didn't willfully do this, they stole his land and I'm here to claim my rights back to the land. Okay. He could they that heir could do this. Okay. They could do this if it wasn't no in modern times, if it's no warranty deed given. If it's no warranty deed, there was a lot of mortgage fraud going on. It still goes on, but a lot of it going on like 2004 to 2008, where people were selling people homes while they were living in it. So you might be living in your home and somebody done sold your whole house and the new owners come knocking on the door or whatever, you know, hey, what you doing in my house? Or refinance the house while you still living in the house, and all of a sudden people was getting letters saying that they need to pay their mortgage and all that type of stuff. And they're like, we don't have a mortgage. We never refinanced our house. Come to find out, somebody done refinanced their house and everything, took the money and everything. So there's a lot of that going on. But there's laws in place now, for all of that type of stuff. But, a long time ago, they didn't have all these laws or anything like that. So, especially in the Wild Wild West, and this movie was in Arizona, you just had to protect your land with your gun, you know. So, even though those times were then and these times are now, people still be trying to take out the heirs and everything. The way they take out the heirs now is, um Emma, try to find that video where the man was buying the heirs out. As long as you, if you have 20, if you have 100 heirs to a property, if you could get 20 of them to quick claim deed you, sell their interest, you could force the other 80 to sell to you. Okay, that's the way they're doing it now. If you get 20 of them, 20%. If you could own 20%, they could force the other 80% to sell to you. Okay. Now they're trying to make laws against that, but that's the tactic they're using now. Okay. So again, this is how important land is. Okay. So this is where he's going to trade the deed for his woman, because he valued his woman more than the land.
That's far enough.
I'm here as promised. And let my wife go. Why would I do that?
Any NBA play can inspire your next hunch. And with FanDuel, you can turn.
Because I have something that you want.
That's the
The
deed.
original deed to the mine. You hear me? No more hiding behind deeds anymore. You let her go, and it's yours. You mean my gold mine? Not anymore. Deep thought of that. Property's been seized by the county. Where did you get that? It was well hidden.
Well. It seems like we both have something the other wants. Show me the paper.
You heard me first.
Bring that engine out.
One thing.
What you saying? She says, how much? And
Let them go. You go.
Oro, Clownshla.
Inihibida. Antehibida. Tansuna, hey.
Tosatu! Akira esteti! Ana, shonda mani! Sante, shune! Tsana nakish! Ille! Tsana kai! Ana, tsana shune klash! Tiga, kotsin kishliego. Jesse! Oh, sasen chao! Shak kuchulech!
You want it? It's yours. This is now.
Bring it to me.
No. It's not gonna work like that. You give her a fresh horse and some distance, and then I'll do whatever you want.
Have it, Joe. Ahí algo. Posso sair.
It's been a month.
Now there's two heirs. The one that was pointing a rifle just now, and the one that's down there with the bad guys. Those are two brothers. They're the two heirs.
Sign it.
So this is where he got to sign a deed. You know, he don't even want to do a fake signature. He's making them to sign the deed. Okay, so long story short, they basically made him sign the deed because without him signing it, it's not legit. You know, like in now times, you have to have what? A notary. Okay. When you sign a deed, a notary has to be there. Somebody has to witness you and everybody signing. And then now it's called a title. You have to have a title company or a notary present. Okay. And they have to witness everybody signing. They're gonna get your identification and witness you signing and then put their stamp on it, that hey, you signed. Okay. But back then, you know, you had to have just two witnesses. Okay. Which, you know, he has him and the other bad guys, they're the witnesses. So as long as you had two witnesses and both parties were there, that was a deal. Okay. So the whole point is he's gonna kill this guy, take his land. Um, you know, I guess the idea is to steal the gold, well, keep the gold, sell it, and pass it on to his family, his generation. Okay, now you got a whole family here that was murdered and lost their land, and you got a whole family that's alive, you know, would be alive and flourishing. Why? Because of the land. Okay, because of the land. Ain't no stocks going on, ain't no cryptocurrency, ain't no artwork, ain't no painting. This is land. This is something that can go on for eternity. Okay, now Um, the other video is this one, how they steal land now, and then we'll talk. That was a Facebook video, or you just posted? Okay, this one here is how they take the land if they get 20% of the heirs to sell out.
Believe me, change your life. But homeowners, if you have an AC unit that's over 5 years old, there's new funding available.
Mhm.
There are a lot of great $600,000, $1 million, $2 million homes.
Your biggest decision is, do I want to go to the beach or the pool, and what am I going to grill for dinner? South Carolina, Hilton Head. What's going on there? People with families, everybody loves Hilton Head.
One of the best ways for an American family to create intergenerational wealth is to own some land. It's in high demand and they don't make it anymore. I'm standing on the beach of the beautiful island of Hilton Head, South Carolina, where after the Civil War, Black people owned most of it. But over the decades, the land was lost. And to this day, we got Black folks that are still fighting to keep their little piece of the American dream. By 1910, African Americans owned around 16 million acres of land, much of it acquired through purchases and homesteading. But after years of violence, intimidation, and legal trickery, most of it was taken. Texas A&M law professor Thomas Mitchell has been tracking that loss for 2 decades.
Historically, we're talking about African Americans. Despite this incredible acquisition of land after the Civil War, most of that property was not considered prime real estate. For example, Hilton Head, South Carolina. Until 1950, Hilton Head was remote. There wasn't a bridge from the South Carolina mainland out to Hilton Head Island, and the island was owned by majority African Americans.
Right.
What does South Carolina do? They build a bridge. Real estate developers realize, oh, there's a great economic opportunity, and they have visions of what has become Hilton Head.
The indigo, rice, and long staple cotton of the past have given way to the golf, tennis, and swimming of today's leisure society.
They started buying out individual families, and there's hardly any Black landowners left. And what's just happened as our society has advanced, areas that were once considered the backwaters no longer are the backwaters.
We're on a mission right now to get this tangerine. The vulnerability of Black land isn't limited to the coastline. It's widespread throughout the United States. Even in my hometown of Tallahassee, Sandra Thompson learned just how hard it can be to maintain possession of land that developers want to get their hands on. I remember growing up in Tallahassee. This was the stick. I went to school with people that lived out here. We'd be like, you lived in the boonies, in the boondocks.
It's actually now zoned urban fringe.
Urban fringe.
Urban fringe.
People try to buy it.
All the time.
Sandra's family were sharecroppers on this land. Her grandparents bought it in 1946 using money their son made serving in the military. But their will didn't clearly identify a single person who would inherit and manage the property.
When my grandmother passed away, it was left equally to her descendants. So that essentially created heirs property.
Heirs property. On the most basic level, what is it?
Heirs property is communal type property where your ancestors would have purchased the land, and once they passed away, it transfers to the next generation and their descendants. It's fractional ownership. A property that could be owned by 200 people. Any one of those heirs can sell their percentage. That new owner can go to the court and say, well, we can't agree on how to manage this land.
And force the rest of the folk to sell it even if they don't want to?
Yes. And so it was essential for us to move it out of heirs property status. And that process costs from probate to title clearing close to about $10,000.
Wait, so you own the land, but then you had to pay $10,000 to own the land again?
Exactly. Because of the cost. A lot of families don't clear title of that property. And so then it keeps them in a vulnerable economic risk position.
African Americans disproportionately own heirs property that every lawyer who was knowledgeable about this ownership form would tell them, run away. Do not ever own it under this structure. And so you're having a population sitting in this very vulnerable way, and oftentimes in a way that they don't understand how the law operates, sometimes until a lawsuit is filed.
The land been in our family for at least 125 years. Started with my great grandfather. The land is for me a lot of memories, part of my roots. I was father named Lewis, what the house. I guess we say we lost it.
The Lewis family owned 480 acres of land and a homestead in northern Louisiana. Because the land was heirs property, several distant family members were able to sell their share of it to a local timber developer named James Tuggle. Tuggle forced the sale of the land that happened last year.
My great-great-grandfather raised 13 kids where that house sits. I mean, there are so many heirs tied into the Lewis properties. It'll make your head spin. Taxes were always paid on time. We were under the impression that could no one person from the family just up and sell any part of the property without anyone being notified.
Do you all know the relatives that sold their property?
I've only seen one once.
You in New York, wherever, going on with your life, you don't really know nothing about it. It's a country spot right here. You don't know nothing about this here.
As part of the legal process, the forced sale of heirs property has to be publicly announced. In the Lewis's situation, a local newspaper posted a notice in the weeks leading up to the auction.
This is a small town. And this is not like the Washington Post, New York Journal, the well, you know. There's no paper out here in the country that's being delivered to the doorstep. You know, ain't no ball riding no bicycle throwing no paper on the front porch down here. So walk in and just do a something like that. I don't understand that. My mama keep the insurance on this house. She keep a roof on this house. She keep these bills paid on this house. You know, my thing is, the house has been here for years. Because of technicality, you uprooted a family.
Shortly after James Tuggle completed the purchase of the Lewis property last year, the sheriff evicted Michael.
So this is where your trailer was sitting here. Those are the steps to the front entrance. I called the sheriff. Well, this is his property. He can do with what he wants.
The sheriff saying that Tuggle can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants. It's his property. I suggest you move the trailer. He says, well, that's all I can tell you. Is there anything I can help you with? I told him no.
Michael ended up with a little over $2,800 for his share of the property. He used it to relocate his trailer home to a half-acre lot nearby.
Still got to put in a water line. The water line's across the road. I can be angry to the point that I want to do something to somebody. I mean, you're talking about 125 years of family heritage.
Michael invited us in to see the documents from the local district court that informed them their land was being targeted for sale.
This is a petition that came to us via the sheriff's department. This is the very first document that we received.
You're hereby cited to comply with the demand contained in the petition, which office is in the town of Homer, said Paris State. You have
That's a lot of
15
words
days after
thrown
this.
at somebody that really can't understand some of the lingo, so to speak. We get to the office to find out exactly what it is that they're trying to say.
To make sense of these documents and get a better understanding of what happened to the Lewises, we visited the clerk of court, Brian Flynn.
Anything involving the partition lawsuit filed here
sheriff's office. I'm the custodian of all of these records that you see. So you want to take this out? Yeah, we take it outside.
When it comes to developers, what's the mechanism that they use to track down family members?
Okay, they'll come into this office, and then generally you know the piece of property that you're looking for. You know, whether that is because it's got some timber on it or something of that nature. Then what you do is you can look at the tax assessor's office, and the tax assessor's office will give you just a visual plat, hand-drawn plat of how the property went from one person to the next person to the next person, and that's how they'll initially find out who owns the property.
So what happened with the Lewises?
The Lewises are a family that's spread out across the United States. So James Terry Tuggle buys into that property. Now, he didn't just buy a sliver of that property. He ended up buying somewhere in the neighborhood of 20%.
Understood.
Once he owns that, he can force the entire thing to be sold.
And that's what he did.
Which he did.
Over the course of a decade, Tuggle, a timber developer in town, bought the shares of more than 20 people connected to the Lewis property, most of them from out of state. He declined our request for an interview and didn't respond to our written questions.
So the sale happens at the sheriff's office, where it is publicly open for bid, and it's sold for $555,000.
And a bargain of a price, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know, $550,000
for 500 acres.
Oh, I've seen 17 acres of land sold for $1,800, and believe me, that, that's disturbing.
The sale he's talking about was made in 2001 to a real estate investor named James Steele, who advertises his ability to force the sale of Harris property. We caught up with him at a sheriff's auction nearby.
All right, suit number 41821, Tree Investments LLC versus Maurice Hunter et al. The minimum acceptable bid is $2,294.25. The floor is now open for bids. Do I hear a bid? Okay, $2,294.25 is sold.
Now you guys see that? The reason he's able to do that is because nobody showed up. He the only one showed up to the bid. This is why I'm going hard on tax deed auctions. That's why I keep telling you guys about tax deed auctions. All right.
Your name up there.
Morning, Jim. Morning. How you doing? Fine. What just happened today here?
Well, I bought an interest in a piece of land, an undivided interest, when it's inherited, there's a lot of heirs. I own 24 acres out of the 52.
Before the day you did.
Yes.
And now you came and purchased the rest. How much have you paid in total for 52 acres?
I would have to add that up because don't get me wrong, I do a lot of these and I can't keep them all in my head.
How does Harris property fit into your overall business model?
To be truthful with it, it's probably 90% of my business model. Even going back to the Civil War, we're doing something that the people in the Civil War had. I mean, they were slaves and they had it. But I've had other landowners come to me and say, well, you file a lawsuit for me and do this because I don't want to be the bad guy. You be the bad guy because you already been the bad guy. You do this all the time. So I'll be the bad guy.
You recognize that what you're doing is perceived.
You look at me as evil.
No, I don't know. No, I'm saying no. No, I don't. No, what I'm saying is to the family member that wants to sell, you're bringing the bank, you're bringing the money. To the family member that doesn't want to sell, you're evil.
Probably in their eyes.
Yeah.
And some people are sincere about not wanting to sell. They mean it. Most don't. Most say that, but they don't mean it. They just want instant gratification and money now. But there are some that don't want to sell, and it's usually the ones that live on the property. They're getting free rent, free everything.
Is there land that's not free rent?
Well, they only own a minuscule portion of it. I've heard it thousands of times. You can't make me sell my land. And then I respond back. I said, yes, I can.
What is my land?
Well, it used to be.
So that ain't really.
bottom line is what you have is these families who many times own property for generations, including families who acquired ownership right after the end of the Civil War. Their property rights are instantaneously extinguished, and then they are stripped.
Okay, you guys can watch the rest of that. The videos in the movie and the videos in the class, so you guys could pull it up. Now we're gonna talk about some things. Let me set this back up. First of all, any questions, any comments so far? Any questions, any comments? Any questions, any comments so far?
I have a comment. This is wrong.
Okay.
I mean, I used to think, just like the black guy who was interviewing him, I used to think the same, that was wrong. But then I started realizing that ignorance of the law is no excuse. And, you know, once you start understanding the process, it's not how we feel, it's what the process says. And the guys just following the procedures. We don't know the rules of the game.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you, Ron, and that's so funny. That's exactly what I was about to say. Everywhere you look, okay, people tell you to read. People tell you ignorance of the law is no excuse. The Bible tells you my people go astray because of a lack of knowledge.
Right.
The guy in the show even said, I'm reading this, but I don't understand. And it's not fair that, you know, they basically sent us this paperwork and I don't understand it. Then the other guy's like, oh, they don't throw no newspaper where we live. They don't come by here and throw no newspaper at our doors and stuff like that. You everybody here, would everybody here like some more money? Let me ask something. Would everybody here like some more money? I know I do. I know I do. Go ahead, Quentin. You had something to say? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm telling you. You know why? You know, us here, we are automatically going to get more money. You know why? We are learning something. We are learning something. You know why people stay broke? They don't try to learn something. Even when they win the lottery, $100 million, even when they become rappers, ball players, actors, you know why they go back broke? Because they don't learn something. They still ignorant.
Right.
Ignorance is very expensive. I was just thinking yesterday, I say, you know what? The people in medical field making so much money. I should go back to school and do something in the medical field. Sure, I could be a doctor in 10 years. I was just saying that to myself. I said, I got time. I could study. I could be a doctor in 10 years and make money as a doctor. You know why I said that to myself? I mean, while I said that to myself, I said, dang, 10 years to learn to be a doctor. And all I'm doing is learning to get a job. Man, in 10 years, I could just learn more about investing and making easier money and more money. You get it? The reason why people are broke is because people don't learn something. Right now, most of the world, most of America, sitting around watching TikTok videos talking about pranking and Puffy, P. Diddy, and whatever politics, whatever foolishness, that none of it is going to put a dollar in their pocket.
So true.
That's what's going on right now. Meanwhile, we're in class trying to learn something. So in the next 5-10 years, who you think is going to be up on enough knowledge to know a good deal when they got one? Us. The one that was sitting around right now, if a deal came our way and you got you standing there and you hear a conversation, you in a store, you overhear a conversation, somebody talking about something. Yeah, man, I'm thinking about this land over here. I might want to go ahead and buy it. I heard the guy want $5,000 down there on Parker's Road. Now you are an investor, so you over here, you like, dang, $5,000 down on Parker's Road. So first thing you do, you run down on Parker's Road, try to look at all the properties, get all the addresses, information, and boom, go talk to the owner and offer them 6,000. Somebody else that was sitting down there hearing the same conversation, but their brain is mush because all they've been doing is watching prank videos and music videos and watching uh, crap movies about selling drugs on TV. They don't even know what's going on around them. They are completely oblivious to what just happened. But and you run down there and you see what piece of land selling for cheap for $5,000 that you just overheard that conversation. And you like, man, I'm gonna go shoot off for them $6,000. Okay? I'm telling you, because you're in class, you're learning. When you go down there, you know how to make an offer because I teach you guys how to make offers. You know how to do all of that. Matter of fact, you look it up. You say, man, this property worth $40,000 and they're only gonna pay $5,000. Man, I'm gonna offer them $20,000 on owner finance and turn around and sell it in a year for $40,000, $50,000 and make $30,000. The reason why you know how to do that is because you came to class to learn. Normal people don't know this. Ask any people, even professional people, hey, you know how to do an owner financing deal? What's that? But say, hey, what's going on with P. Diddy? Oh, boy, man, you homie, girl, you ain't heard? They can't find a video, but all these people coming forward and the judge said this. And did you know about they gonna tell you the whole everything going on with P. Diddy? Everything. Okay? So that's why they're losing their property. You trying to tell me you sitting around in your trailer, you don't even know you got timber on your land that's worth money. The man bought it for the timber. The man paid $500,000 for the timber. If he paid $500,000 for the land, imagine how much a timber worth. The timber probably worth $2 million.
That's right.
It's 500 and something thousand acres. That's 500 and something football fields of timber, and they got to be 18 inches or wider. So you already know most of them is 18 inches or wider. It's probably $2 million or more worth of timber on that land, and they just sitting around twiddling their thumb, don't even know what they have. Okay, now I got my Bible right here, but I'm gonna just tell y'all a story. I'm not a Bible thumper, but I believe in the esoteric knowledge in here. What one of the things I always talk about that parable. Remember where the master went away and left one servant, 1 talent, 1 5 talent, 1 10 talent, whatever it was. And the one that had 5 talents, he doubled it. Another one gave it to the money exchangers and gained interest off of it. But the one that had 1 measly talent, they hid it. And what the master did, took from the one that did nothing with what he had and gave it to the ones that did something with what they got. Esoterically, this is what's happening. When we are not good stewards, when we don't multiply, the first thing the Bible tells you, be fruitful and multiply. That's the first commandment was given. It wasn't to don't steal, don't be covetous, don't try to take your neighbor's wife, don't be envious, don't be jealous, don't be angry. First thing supposedly God said to Adam and Eve is what? Be fruitful and multiply. I keep telling y'all, if we are not multiplying, we will lose even that which we have. I see it in real time, in real life. People will get money and lose it all. I know I got a friend of mine, um, rest in peace, mom. Her mom passed away. Me and her mom had the exact same birthday. Okay. Her mom passed away, left for 100 something thousand dollars. Now that girl don't even have a penny in her pocket. She went and bought a car for 20 something thousand, gave some money away, bought a bunch of stuff, eating out at restaurants every minute, just blowing the money. Don't have a penny in her pocket right now. Be calling me, asking me for $20. I said, what happened to your money? Did not multiply it. Did not multiply it. And I said, man, maybe that's what happened to me. All these years I'm working, paying rent. This is why I keep telling people stop paying rent. It's literally, to me, it's literally a sin. You're literally giving away the talents. That's like God, the creator of balanced universe, gave you a talent to go make some money. You make the money, or however you get your money, win it, steal it, fine, however you make your money, but it was given to you legally. Let me not say steal it, but you get your money and you give it away. And now the master comes and say, hey, what happened to that money I gave you? Oh, I paid the rent. You what? I just gave you $1,000. You could have went and bought a piece of land and go live on the land. And when I come back in a year, you could have gave me $2,000. You could have sold the land and give me 1,500, and you keep 500. Oh, I took the $1,000 and I paid my rent, and now I got paid again next month. I seriously believe this is why people are broke, because God keep giving you something and you keep giving it away. Imagine you get your money Friday, Saturday you party your money away, buy clothes, shoes, eat out. You broke by Monday, Tuesday. You gotta go get a payday loan check by Wednesday, pay it back Thursday or Friday, and after you pay your payday loan back, you can't party this weekend, and then you gotta borrow from people on your job Monday. You can't pay your tithes on Saturday or Sunday. I'm telling you, I think it's literally like some type of, it's something about it. It's bad enough we pay interest. We're not supposed to be paying usury. That's bad enough. Okay.
True.
But you're literally giving your money away without multiplying it first. That's why all the gurus always tell you the purpose of a job making money is to multiply the money. Then once your money have a baby, then you can take that money and go spend that. But you don't take the money you earn and go spend that. You take the money you earn and you invest that into something that's going to make you more money. And then you take that money and go buy whatever car, jewelry, party, whatever you want to do. I think that's literally something in that why people are broke. Most people cannot even afford a $500 or $1,000 emergency right now. They cannot call a bank and say, hey, I own this land down here. Let me borrow $1,000. Most people are not in that position right now. Okay. Even people I know people that own property and can't pull any money out because they done pulled out so much money, they can't pull any more out of it. And they keep pulling out money to do stupid shit with the money. Go buy a car, go do all kind of stupid shit with the money. Okay. But if you notice people that are property owners, people that own their property, pay their mortgage, pay it off, don't keep getting refinance. If you notice, a lot of these people flourish in life. You take two people, two brothers, one same age, twins, one go and rent his whole life, they got the same education, everything like that, go rent his whole life, and another one go and buy a piece of property. By the time they 65, who you think can retire and not even worry about anything? The one that went and bought a piece of property, the one that been renting his whole life, he still got to keep working. Okay? It's something about a man that owns property to a woman that make her feel secure. Any woman that take a man that rents over a man that own a piece of property, something wrong with her. So I'm not even talking about those women. I'm talking about real women. When they find out, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I'm glad Emma not in the room. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I was selling cars, right? And me and my buddy was selling cars in front of his house. So this girl pulls up. She's like, "Oh, you the one out here selling cars?" I'm like, "Yeah." She like, "This your house?" I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. This my buddy's house. I ain't say nothing. I just made her assume it was my house. She didn't even care about buying a car after that. She wanted me because of the house. He got a house. He got property. Okay? Women want security. They want to be safe, protection. They want to know they straight. Okay? Men, we want love, nurturing from a woman. That's all we want, love and nurturing. We don't need security from a woman. Women want security. Okay? I'm telling you guys, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like land. It's the one thing in this whole universe, this earth, literally this earth, that is nothing like it. It gives us everything, even women. It gives us everything we need. Even if you're a woman and you want to attract a man, okay? If a man find out you got a whole bunch of land, he wants you. Okay, I'm telling you. Oh, go ahead, Miss Nadine.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment. When I was growing up, Caribbean girls, we were always taught these skills, cooking and cleaning. And I remember my mom saying, in order to be a housewife, the man has to provide you a house, and then you decorate, cook it, and make it your own. A comment about renting. I noticed on you rent somewhere, it's supposed to be temporary. But in actuality, it becomes a long-term debt. Because now when you want to break the lease and move, they still want to get paid extra money. It just seems like a never-ending, like a credit card. It's just a pit. You keep throwing money in, but you're really not getting anything to help you financially become a better person. So I find renting to be a scam.
It is.
That I've been in over and over again. I was talking to my brothers. I'm of Caribbean descent, and this brother of mine, he was born in Jamaica and raised there as well, like the rest of the family. He told me, you know why in 25 years I don't rent more than 30 days? I said, why? He said, because I'm literally giving my money away.
Literally.
Them scamming me and stealing. I got to sign all these papers, a lease, a this, a that. And if I change my mind, I can't rent the house out. I have to sublet, get their permission. I can't cook outside versus inside. You don't really have a voice in what you can do because you're not the owner. When you own something, you have more positive gain.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, it's when I got evicted, it was the best thing to ever happen to me. It was literally, when people get evicted, now I have people that call me sometime and they're like, I watch your videos. I just got evicted. I had a lady call me. She's living in a car with her 4-year-old and her 14-year-old. I've been living in my car. I'm doing DoorDash, stuff like that. I'm like, being evicted. I told her, can I tell you something? That's probably the best thing ever happened to you. How can you say that? How can you say that? I'm like, because now you're forced to buy land. It's literally God trying to force you into a better position. Literally. But people can't see that. Okay? For some reason they can't see that. Now, I feel bad for people that lose their property to heirs. These laws about heir rights and stuff like that. It's obvious, but it's something about you getting something and you not doing anything with it that you will lose it. Even knowledge, if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm here about to stain a floor, and I haven't stained a floor in years, and I'm like, dang, I forgot the pattern I have to move in. Now I got to go watch a YouTube video. Boom, it came to me, man. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's true. You you take you take a woman. If you don't use your woman, you take your man. You don't use your man, you're gonna lose him. When I say use, I mean you don't do what you need to do by your woman. You don't do what you need to do by your man. You're gonna lose them. Anything you don't use, you don't take care of, you don't multiply with. When you have a man, a woman, you're supposed to build with them. You're supposed to have babies. You're supposed to build with them. Why most people divorce? Financial issues. Why financial issues? You haven't been multiplying your money. You haven't been multiplying your money together. Okay? Let me play this video real quick. Then we're going to talk about tax deeds. Speaking of that. I just posted this video. I was like, wow, this is a couple multiplying, working together and multiplying.
We bought a new piece of property every single year for what, the first 8 years of our one, yeah, but mostly because I don't know how it is everywhere. I think it's still this way, where single family residents, you could have a fourplex, right? So it's rental, but it's in terms of the loan, it's still single family, right? And so when we met, he had a fourplex. And he bought the fourplex next door. We were married when we bought the fourplex next door, right? You had the one that we were in. We bought the one next to us. Then we bought a house down the street. Then we bought another. But what we were doing is every year we were moving because it's owner occupied residency. That's how we built the portfolio. That's smart. And so we weren't paying for second homes. Every single home was owner occupied, and then once we got to the time frame that was required, we then went and we bought another property. And so that's how we built our real estate portfolio. But we wouldn't have been doing that if I was blinged out. Bought a new.
That's a smart woman. She said they wouldn't have been doing that if she was blinged out, if she was basically taking the money and buying stuff that wasn't property. You know, buying anything but property. Okay? That's a smart woman. That marriage will probably last. Even when they're angry at each other, even when they're at the brink of divorce, they'd be like, man, I better just stay in this marriage because and be their friend because I don't want to get out here and get with some fool and they don't know how to multiply money. They don't know how to buy property. You have a lot of couples right now still together. They're not together, but they together because they're a power couple. That's why they stay together. Okay? Because they are a power couple. Hey, Colette. Colette say mortgage is a scam. A big time scam. But like I said, we're not supposed to be paying mortgages. We're not supposed to be paying interest, but it's a little bit better than paying rent. At least at the end of it, you get your property. You know, you pay. You bought one or two for whoever's holding the paperwork. But at least at the end of the day, you get your property. You know, that's another reason why I'm focused on tax deed sales. We can buy properties cheap. very cheap, 1,000, 500, 5,000, 10,000. You know, property that's worth way more than that. All right. Now, anybody know the difference between tax deeds and tax liens? Okay. Tax deed is where when you bid on the property. Oh, you raise your hand, Quentin? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, tax deed is but both of them you can go to the auction, you can go to the auction online. It's a government auction, like a private auction. But with the tax deed, you actually get the property. With the tax lien, like you get I guess like a percentage of the property. When you get some type of right to the property. But you don't get the property outright. It takes more time for you to get the property.
Correct. 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 Yep. So tax deed, you get the property. Once you win the bid, you win it. You got to go pay for that property immediately, or some cases they give you 30 days to pay it. Okay. Tax lien, you get an interest in the property. Okay. The owner still can pay you back, but they have to pay you back with interest. Okay, to take away your interest in the property. Okay, so if somebody owes a bunch of taxes on the property, and they behind 2 3 years, whatever it is, 10 years, 20 years, and you come in and pay that, if you are in a tax lien state, or you're trying to buy in a tax lien state, you will never own that property. You would always just have interest in that property. Okay. If you want to own that property, then you got to go back and say, hey, 3 years have passed, 5 years have passed, 10 years have passed, whatever the law is, this person has not paid me back yet. Can the courts issue me a deed? And then the courts have to investigate, and they say, okay, this person didn't pay you back yet. We're going to issue you a deed, send a sheriff down there to kick them out. Okay. So if you guys want to go into buying tax liens, tax deeds, you have to know there is a difference. There's tax liens and there's tax deeds. Okay. Now, Emma put it in a group not too long ago, reposted in a group. The tax liens and the tax deeds states. So that's in the group, and then we're gonna go watch a video on it real quick, because I'm setting it up for next class. We're gonna do some examples of tax liens and tax deeds. Okay. I'm about to repost it in a group, and then we're gonna just look at that real quick. All right. Now, North Carolina is a tax deed state. So anything I purchase at auction in North Carolina, I'm gonna get the deed for it. Anything I purchase at the auction, I'm gonna get the deed for it. Okay. Florida is tax liens and deeds. Okay. So depending on what county you in, you have to watch. Am I going to get the deed and be the owner right away? Or am I just going to get interest in the property? Okay. Am I just going to get interest in the property and consideration, and the owner have the chance to buy my interest back? Okay. Now, if we look at this, the dark blue is tax deeds. Okay, the light blue is redemption deeds. Okay, they could even redeem their deed from you. Okay, the gray is liens and deeds, and the black is only liens. Okay, you could only put a lien on a property. All right, so South Carolina is a tax lien. You got Alabama, know what state that is. I guess that's Georgia, Louisiana. No, not Georgia. What's in the black? South Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana. No, Georgia's light blue. Georgia's redemption. So so all your black states is tax deeds. So all those states, you'll never get a deed until the time period passed. Okay, then you got to go through a process. And the gray states, it's liens and deeds. Like Florida, I got a buddy been going through it for like 10 years now, trying to get his deed on this property that he paid the taxes. But what the lady did, she kept letting different people pay the taxes, and now it's a whole bunch of people involved, and they got to go through a whole bunch of rigmarole to figure things out on that property. All right. So, let's watch this video, and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Okay. What, you just posted a video? Okay.
Always tells me that they want to buy property at a tax deed sale, like I did with my plot of land. But I realize that everyone's been getting very confused with tax liens and tax deeds. To start off, we have to talk about what a delinquent property is. When someone stops paying their taxes on their property, obviously the government's going to take it. The government still needs that money to make sure that we are a functioning society. So they essentially auction off the debt that the other person owed, so someone else can go and bid and buy the tax lien. You own it, you've paid the government, now you're the one who's at a loss of money. Property owner now owes that money plus interest. In most cases, people pay off their liens, so the person who bought it will get their money back plus the interest. So the person never pays it back after a certain period of time. The lien certificate holder, which is the person who owns the debt, can petition to put the property up for auction, which is then a tax deed sale. They'll get their money back, and somebody else can actually buy the tax deed, which is essentially the property. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments. Always tells me that they want to buy property at a tax.
So a tax lien is just a claim to a property. Nothing about a lien says that you are going to get the deed to the property. So people always confuse tax liens with tax deeds, and they're two completely different things. If you have a claim to something, you have the option, and depending on what state we are, you do have the option to get that house if they don't pay you back with interest. But with the actual tax deed sale, the minute you win the auction, that is yours immediately. So a tax
Okay, the tax deed, the minute you win the auction, that's your property immediately.
All right, so tax liens versus tax deeds, which is better? The answer is it depends. So with a tax lien, you're buying a tax lien certificate, or a tax lien that gives you a first priority lien against a parcel of real estate. If that lien is not paid off, you can then claim ownership to that property. Now, 95% or more of the time, those tax liens are paid off by the delinquent taxpayer, which means you're going to get your money back plus interest. So you'll actually realize that profit the moment you go out and check your mailbox. So there's not a whole lot of work most of the time, but also the return is going to be a little bit lower than a tax deed. Whereas a tax deed, you buy the actual property, and in order to make your money, you have to actually market and sell that property. That takes time, effort, and money. So tax lien, lower return, lower amount of work. Tax deed, higher return, higher amount of work. Hopefully this helps. I'll look for more tips on tax self-investing.
Yeah, that's very important what he said. So say you don't even want the property. You just want to make interest off your money. Then you would focus on tax liens. You would pay people taxes, and then they pay you back with interest. There's a lot of people, that's all they do is tax liens. That's a great strategy. A great strategy where you just collect interest, and it's 18% interest. You know,
tax sales. I get so many questions about how they work. So there's basically two types of tax sales: tax lien sales and tax this investor first. So what could happen is this investor would make back what he paid plus some interest and be done. Now, if the homeowner never comes back to redeem the property, now he is the new owner of that property. Tax sales. I get so many questions.
Okay, that was a great little video right there. So the government ain't the government is not coming to knock on your door. Okay, they already done sent you letters. You know, if you don't pay your taxes, they not they not gonna come up there fight with you. They're not gonna send a sheriff up there to threaten you. They're not doing none of that. Okay, they're gonna sell the taxes. They're gonna sell um the tax certificate that you owe taxes to whoever want to buy it. And if you don't pay them back, now they are going to become the bad guys to come petition the court to get the deed. Okay, so they're going to become the bad guy. All right, that they have to follow up with it, okay, to get the deed, because the courts, they're not going to do that. They're not going to come chase you down. Okay, they're going to make somebody else do it. All right, now once we've purchased a tax deed property, okay, or we've gotten the deed to a tax lien property, you're like, God, how do I don't have the money, how do I pay for it? We got it. We got people that will, you guys just get with me personally, we got people that will finance. Now it is going to be hard money. Okay, it is going to be 10 and 18% interest. Okay, it is going to be fees in there. But if you get a property for 10, 20, 40, 50,000 and it's worth 100,000, it doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter. Okay, so anyhow, that's it for tonight, guys. Oh, Quentin, you got a question?
Yeah, I went to the last one I went to.
Mm-hmm.
The last auction I went to was in Meriden, Connecticut. This group of dudes, I think they were friends or maybe investors, but they was all like blue collar workers. So they had like mechanics and whatnot. You know, they got together for this property. It was like 100 cents, right? 100,000 cents. The property was worth $1.2 million.
Yeah.
Not the property, $100,000.
Yeah, they put their money together. They put their money together and made it happen. That's what I'm telling people. Like, it's no reason not to make money right now. It's not no reason not to be building wealth right now. You could put your money together, which will be a greater impact. You'll make more money that way. Or even if you do it by yourself, you know, like they say, if you want to go fast, go as a group. How they say, if you, anybody know how that saying go? But if you want to go for sure, if you want to go further, go alone. One or the other.
You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, you go as a group.
Right, right. So I want to go far. You know what I'm saying? I want to go far. You know, I already tried trying to do stuff the fast way. I'm literally, I want to go far. It make no sense get somewhere fast. You know, it's like I'm in Florida and I want to get somewhere fast, but I only get to Georgia. Okay? And I'm tired because I done got there so fast. I done broke my leg or something. But then people that work together, you drive 3 hours, then you drive 3 hours, and you drive 3 hours, and y'all get further. You get all the way up to Maine. Okay? But I'm stuck in Georgia because I got to take a nap because I done drove 12 hours straight. Now I got to take a nap. Okay? And lose time. But somebody else that teamed up, they got 4 people in the car. You could drive straight through the Maine and beat me. Okay? Now I got to Georgia faster than y'all, but y'all gonna pass me because y'all going as a group. Y'all don't have to stop but for gas while one driving, everybody else resting. One driving, one got the eye on the road for you, the other two resting. Okay. So you, if you want to go far in life, go as a group. That's how, the super rich do what they do. They work as a group. They work together. That's why they say marriage is wonderful. Most millionaires and billionaires would never be that way if they weren't married, if they weren't working together with a woman or their man. Okay? Telling you. Even Oprah Winfrey, she never got married, but she got Stedman. You got to have somebody in your life. You got to have that. But anyhow, that's tonight's class, guys. Any other questions? Any other comments? All right. So next class, guys, we're gonna dive deep into tax deeds. We're gonna do a little bit on trust. We're gonna go look at our websites, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys even the websites we buy from, they buy from tax deeds. Okay, and I'm gonna show you some examples of that. All right. So next class, Tuesday. All right. And you guys have a great one.
Thank you.
And I see you next class. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
All right. All right.
Bye-bye. Good night.
And that is how we get down in Dragonland University. Get in the mastermind. 754-229-0940. Got a package for everybody. You got $25. We got a package for you. Get in the mastermind. Love you guys. Peace.